Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and continually teach us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect that's laboring in His word and truth sincerity. Lord willing, this could be an edifying video. This is going to be a really quick video. All right. I mainly had two precepts I was thinking of. And, I'm going to just go ahead and get into it. Okay. Because we desire a righteous world. See, this world we're in today, this is a wicked world, man. It's a world where the Israelite man is the most disrespected. He's expected to take disrespect and not, say a word. The family structure is all fucked up. In all areas, this place is hell. Okay? This is a world where Esau, he thinks that this is how life should be. Men and women being equal. Your woman, it's only a matter of time before she commits adultery. Because if she works, best believe it's guys she's seeing every day at the job that's trying to get with her. And then if she does commit adultery, somehow it's the man's fault. So I mean, this place is just hell, man. So we desire a new world where righteousness will be established. This is 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of our power, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. So the second death, which will be by thermonuclear destruction. Okay, and the fire is not only going to destroy, it's also going to purify, because there will be no chemtrails in the air when we come down from the fathership. Okay, there will be no trash just sitting on the ocean. Okay, the Lord is going to destroy with this fire, but He's also going to purify and cleanse the earth, because Esau has totally polluted the earth, man. This nigga, he done polluted the air, he done polluted the food, he done polluted the minds of people. You got this man versus woman shit and social media, and every fucking thing is polluted, man. Everything's tainted. All kind of chemicals in our food, and chemicals in our water, and chemicals, and this devil put chemicals in the toothpaste, and radiations everywhere, and this, man, everything this devil has done is to kill us, man. It says, verse 13, nevertheless, we according to His promise, because there is a promise. Okay? There's a promise. Look at this guy, man. You really had to park beside me, bro. There's barely any room here. Anyway, reading on. Nevertheless, we, according to His promise, look for new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. And when you look up this word new, okay, when you look up the word new, it goes to the Greek word kainos, which means recently made, fresh, recent, unused, unworn. Let's see, of uncertain affinity. New, especially in freshness. Okay, it pretty much means to refresh. That's what the word kainos means. So the Lord, He's going to refresh everything. Okay? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the great reset. that Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is bringing, not the digital shit Esau's bringing, which we are looking for that too, because that's prophecy. But we're looking for the righteous reset, I should say, because the world will be governed in righteousness by the Israelites, beginning with Yahushai and King David and the rest of the 144,000, which will be the government of the kingdom of heaven. Righteousness will be enforced. When you read the law, statutes, and commandments, it makes sense. It makes sense on, the Lord's ways make sense. Okay, it prevents you from being a nigga. It forces you to take responsibility. It forces accountability. Because if you commit certain sins worthy of death, that's on you. It ain't no, because she looked good, or you can pay a certain amount of money to a lawyer and the lawyer will get you off. No, there's certain laws in our culture where if you break them, you have to die. One of the main ones is adultery. Okay, that's a serious sin. Okay? So we're going to enforce the law in the earth. Just like Esau, he has so-called police officers, which are modern-day slave patrollers. They claim to enforce the law, which they're corrupt. Okay? The righteous law will be enforced. Okay? Righteousness. This is verse 13 in the NLT. But we are looking forward to the new heavens and new earth. He has promised a world filled with God's righteousness. So, in the kingdom of heaven, there won't be any moles. There won't be any adultery going on. There won't be any murder. There won't be any PDF files. Okay, there won't be any child sacrifices or, anything of that sort. Okay, there will be no pride. Okay, and all of the earth is going to go back to how it was in Genesis when it speaks about the whole earth spoke one language. We're all going to speak one language. Okay, so it ain't going to be no, you can't understand what a brother's saying, or you can't understand what a heathen is speaking. We're all going to speak Hebrew, the Lashawan Kodash. So I'm going to grab Isaiah. Like I said, this ain't meant to be a long video. Meant to be a quick video. See how much time I got left for my lunch break. And we at the end of this thing, Akim. We almost home, so, speaking of myself first and foremost, keep our head high and stay strong. We almost out this bitch. This Isaiah chapter 2, verse 2, and it shall come to pass in the last days, which were in the last days, that the mountain of the Lord's house, which are the Israelites, okay, shall be established in the top of the hills above these other nations. Okay, when it says top of the mountains can represent government. Okay, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it, because Israel will be the supreme ruling nation in not just the earth, but throughout the universe, because we're going to expand to other planets. Okay, so when it says all nations shall flow into it, all the nations outside of Israel are going to have to keep our laws, statutes, and commandments. There will be no questions. There will be no, I meant no and if or buts about it. Which the scriptures tell us in Deuteronomy that the heathen will say, this is a righteous people. They will ultimately, want to keep our ways. especially when they see the blessings, because we will bless the heathen after that 1,000 years, and they're being obedient. We will reward them, they're accordingly. We ain't gonna be tyrants to the heathen. Once they get their own land, they're going to keep our laws and pay us tribute, and they'll be cool. So all nations shall flow to it, and many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And that's why the scriptures say in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous beareth rule, the people rejoice. Because when Israel is in power, these other nations are going to have to come to us to learn of our ways, which we will teach them, okay? And they're going to walk in our paths. They're going to, be like, man, these people are righteous. These laws are righteous. Because the whole world will remember the reign of Esau Edom, especially in the beginning of the kingdom, and we're going to tell them, and they're going to eventually they're going to be like, wow, yeah, let's live like this. Let's they're going to see how blessed we are. They're going to love serving us, man. And that's what we looking for. We looking for a righteous world, a world where Israel is on top, man. We can't wait to experience what it's like to be a king, what it's like to have power. Because we don't have no power here. And people get a little crumb of power and it goes to their head. Like on a job, when a person gets a team lead or a supervisor, manager position, they switch up. You can see it on them. You could just see the pride and, So these people do that. When the true judges, when the true rulers get into power, okay, we're not going to be proud, but we are going to boast ourselves. The scripture speaks about that. We shall boast ourselves in the glory of the Gentiles, But just a quick video, Lord willing, it was edifying. With that, I'm going to say shalom.